Okay, hello everyone, welcome back. My name is LimBryn, and I have no idea what to say for this intro, but I've been putting it off for a week, so I'm just doing it. Last episode, we built this stuff, which all turned out pretty good. In today's episode, I think I want to do more of this. I really like building, but as I said in the last episode, I'm kind of getting tired of this roof type. It wasn't as evident over there that the whole kelp roof thing was going to end up looking really repetitive, but it looks really repetitive. So I'm going to go to a different section of the town where the kelp roof is not going to be as much of an issue. I'm going to go over right here-ish, I think. I'm going to do stuff at the end of this road because as we get closer to the upper plateau area where all the rich people live, there's going to be nicer and nicer places that will probably not have kelp roofs because kelp roofs are just a nice, readily available resource that is easy to make your roof out of. So, I'm going to build a building right here. I already have a pretty good design in mind, I think. So, let's go ahead and jump straight into a time lapse. Oh, I know I say this every time, but it looks so good. Although this time, I think this is actually my favorite build ever. It's like 4 buildings, and it's so much better than all of these. That's right, you suck. No, you don't. These ones are also great, but this is my favorite build so far. I think it's because this is the first part of what I'm going to kind of call the Grand Market, which is something I've been really excited to start building. It's going to be it's going to be a Grand Market, as the name would maybe suggest, you know? So I've gone with these kind of super colorful classic market awnings where it's just like the red and white stripes. I've also done green and orange because those are kind of the colors of Parrotcraft. And then it's all surrounding this nice little well, which honestly, I'm having mixed feelings about this well. It's weird and spiky, and I designed it and I kind of like it, but it's also weird and spiky. But it's gonna stay for now because I'm too lazy to change it. Also, I forgot to put water in that bucket, and it doesn't really matter, and I am too lazy to change it. So that well is going to stay for now with its waterless bucket. But yeah, there's 4 little buildings, most of which are like little markets, and I'm not really sure what they sell. Because if I go in here, well, first of all, this building is weirdly tall and has a very blank wall, but it just has this little storeroom that honestly could also use with some more detail. I didn't do super great interiors for these, but they are fine, I guess. They're the interiors, so you're never really gonna give me your head. Give me your head. Give your head, please. Please give this is damn it, I didn't get a head. I've been collecting axolotl heads and putting them in my house, so I do kill the axolotls whenever I see them. But yeah, there's nothing really denotating what these sell, and I'm not going to add that for now, I think, because it's the Grand Market. I want it to be fancy. I don't just want to stick an item frame on some wool. But in Minecraft Live, which happened a couple of days ago by the time of me recording this, that they're going to introduce hanging signs, which are the perfect thing for this. So once those are introduced, I'll add them in places like here or something, and then it will say oh, Potter's Pots or something. Probably not that. Hopefully I can be more original than that, but I'm not good at improv. So yeah, that'll be a lot better once that's added in. But other than that, I think they're pretty good. The interior, honestly, that one's interior it's just not good. The rest of them are better. This one is it's the same height, but I actually divided it better. And also, I've put double beds in a lot of these buildings, which is a problem I've realized I have, which is that I haven't most of the buildings I've built have single beds, which means that no one has spouses or any family whatsoever. And I get that's medieval times and children might sleep on the floor, but still. So I've actually tried to put some double beds in some of these buildings. So yeah, and then this one has a little. I almost said aisle. What is this? An alleyway. Oh my god. Because I don't really know how to connect buildings well, so I just have little gaps in between them, which serve as cute little alleyways that I can put doors on. But yeah, I think they're fine. This one doesn't really need this. It's more because I didn't want to have the only entrance be through the market. Well, then now I'm thinking about this building, the only entrance is through the market stall. Maybe this building just sucks. Orange awning building, you're just not good. You look fine from the outside, but you've problems on the inside. It's like a teenager with bad mental health. Um, God, that was a weird joke. Anyway, I think most of them turned out pretty good. This one's interior is probably my favorite, actually. It's very cute and dark, which I really like the darkness because, like, they added it so, like, this block, I'm horrible at finding. This is a block of 6 light level. In, like, previous updates, before I think it was 1.18 they added this would spawn monsters, but because of the new update, it doesn't, because of 1.18, it now has to be light level 0 to spawn monsters, which means I can have like dingy, dark little things like this, which I love. And then the top of this has a double bed. This person isn't single, maybe, or it's just like they have a big bed because they're rich because they're closer to the top of the city. But this is another building that I really like the interior of. I think it turned out great, and it has a new fancy roof type. You see, I was talking about earlier how that roof was getting really bad and repetitive, and this is kind of my solution to that. I've made two new roof types here. One is this grassy thing, which I actually really like, and the other is this skylight stuff, which looks really good from the outside, but from the inside is a little more iffy, so I'm probably going to be using less of that and more of this. And I think it looks really good. This one doesn't have like access to their roof, which is kind of weird, but whatever. There's flaws in this build that I'm realizing as I'm talking about it, and yeah, it's not perfect. But this one does have access to the roof, and if we head down, this person is single. Mostly because their house is really small. It doesn't look too bad up here, but once you go down here, the interior of this is like 2 by 2, and that's mostly because most of the space spent in this house is the outside, which I think looked really good. I don't know why I made it a flower garden, but I mostly want to have this little river going by here, and a flower garden is a good place, a good thing to like put there. And speaking of that river, if we head back outside, that river is coming from this, it was supposed to be a natural spring, this randomly spawning tropical fish, which is kind of cute, because it means I don't have to put, like, tropical fish in it, which is maybe something I would have done. But speaking of things that I want to put in here, I want to put an axolotl in here, because axolotls are cute, and I want to keep, like, some semblance of what this area used to be, which is this lush cave with a billion creepers in it, 'cause I didn't light it up. Yeah, I want to keep like some semblance of this because I originally was going to go with like a lush cave aesthetic, I guess, but I don't really know how to do that, so I didn't. I went with greenery because greenery is easy. So yeah, I want to keep like some little token to that, so I want to put an axolotl in here, but I don't want to put just any axolotl in here. I want to put a purple axolotl in here. And that is why I spent a little bit of time, and by a little bit I mean several hours, before I built those buildings gathering buckets of tropical fish. I have two full double chests of shulker boxes of buckets of tropical fish, because this is what axolotls take to breed. And if you breed axolotls, there's a 1 in 1,200 chance of the baby being a purple axolotl. And that's what I'm going to try and do. So I have all of those tropical fish. I also converted my old cow pen into like an axolotl breeding area, which has two cute little axolotls in it right now. So without further ado, I am going to breed axolotls for like 5 hours, maybe. It's probably gonna be more. It's gonna be a while. But anyway, I'm gonna do it in a time lapse because I think breeding time lapses look pretty cool. Sometimes you get to see the mobs like multiply and slowly fill the space. So I'm gonna try doing that. So yeah, let's jump back into a time lapse. I will see you after too much axolotl breeding. So you might have noticed there wasn't a time lapse there, and that is because I severely underestimated how hard it is to breed axolotls. See, I got about this far before completely giving up, at least for now. I don't think I can, like, I can't do this in one sitting. I have so much fish left over, but here's why it's just, like, horrible. If I take my fish, right, and I want to breed two axolotls, you just, like, breed them like any other fish, except that happens a lot. I was legitimately trying to click on the axolotl there. Right, so I've just lost a fish. This fish isn't usable anymore, and I've just been, like, throwing them over there. And that what happened there is, right, I successfully bred an axolotl, and the baby is somewhere, I think, I would assume. I don't see it, but like that worked, right? But you notice I placed it down, and that's because you can place buckets of tropical fish. If you take it and you just like place it down, you place it, and the axolotls kill the tropical fish, which give you the tropical fish item, and that cannot be used to breed axolotls. So there's a couple different solutions to this. One is I make this room completely out of note blocks, because if you right click on a note block, it's going to play the note block instead of placing the bucket of tropical fish, which is obviously the problem. The other option is download like a data pack or something that allows me to use the fish item to breed the axolotl, which I'm not completely opposed, but for now, I kind of just don't want to, because even if it was like easy to breed these, this is going to take forever. So it's going to be more of like a at some point in this series, I'd really like to get a purple axolotl, and I'll probably work on this in my free time. But for now, I'm not going to, because it's just way too much effort to just get a little purple axolotl to put down in this pond, as cool as that would be. So at some point I will get a purple axolotl. I'll try to in the future, but for now I am giving up on that. And since I'm not going to be breeding axolotls in the end of today's episode, I think I'm going to pretty much just end this one here, because I have a ton of plans that I've been like designing in creative that I want to build. I designed like a whole little thing to go down here. I want to do a ton of stuff in this area, but it's more stuff than I can just like cram into the end of an episode. It's more stuff that I want to just cram into the end of an episode. So I'm gonna leave that for next time, but it should be really cool, hopefully. And maybe since I already have the design, the episode won't take a month and a week to come out. And that is the other reason I want to end this now, because if I were to work on that, this would probably just take forever to come out. And while I don't really have an upload schedule, I do like to actually upload videos sometimes. So yeah, but before we end the episode, I have already updated the map because this is not my first take doing this, but it looks pretty good. I really like the weird little pattern that the well makes on the, wow, I should not move. Okay, there, well. That it makes like on the map, it just kind of looks strange with the different levels of copper, but I really like it. And I think this build overall turned out pretty good, although because of the fact that a lot of the roofs are like grass, like this one is literally grass, you can't, like, I mean, you can see it, it looks like grass. So the builds themselves are a little weird, but you can see the market awnings and stuff, and I think once the entire, like, jungle area is covered in buildings, it will actually look a little bit better, because currently most of the builds I do kind of look like green and browns. There's not much color variation. I think the most outstanding color so far is like the birch signs that are down at the tavern. You definitely can't see them, but yeah, maybe the awnings and, like I said, the well looks pretty good. But other than that, I think it will look a lot better once more things are done. Once I start doing the upper plateau, there will be a lot more color in it. But that is for the future. But for now, like if you liked, subscribe if you like it. Have a great day. As always, bye bye.